So, Mutanus eats the anti-healbot. Thankfully, it means the bird is safe, the Shudderwock is safe, but most importantly, the Maddest Bomber is safe, and we can now play that with the hero power. So this is going to be 24 damage amongst all characters. How lucky can we get here? The priority is to clear the board, which we did not accomplish. Their board is still pretty dangerous, and we put another minion on the board. Oh dear. So now we have to put our faith in either the Shudderwock or the bird. Their opponent is smart. They did not want the Maddest Bomber to stick around on the board. Maybe they don't want it bounced back to hand. It's also 9 attack. Oh, tapping. That's brave. Oh dear, that's healing. So they have armor on the board, they have healing on the board. Let's draw a card, let's see what we get. Oh, another bird. So here we go. Bird time, bird power. So 24 damage. Let's see where we get. We could just end up dying here. If luck is on our side, we clear the board. Or most of the board. Or some of the board. Oh dear. Well, that didn't help. We have no choice now but to play another bird. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe the damage goes to their face and they die. No, we're dead. Oh, it still keeps going. Can we get a draw? No. Oh well. We tried. We really did try. And that's the key thing. It was fun, right? And we kind of came close, but not close enough. If they didn't have the healing and the armor, maybe it would have been a different outcome. So ladies and gentlemen, what deck am I playing today? I am playing Christian's Shudderwock Shaman with the Maddest Bomber. So this is a really, really fun deck to play. I wouldn't call it competitive. You're looking at bomb RNG to go your way in order to try and win the game. So the idea is simple. You play the Maddest Bombers, repeat those battle cries through the Shudderwock, and hope for the best. But the damage from the bombs can, well, it can hit your own face, right? And that can kill you. So how do you negate that? Well, there is healing in the deck. There's the Life Drinker. There's also Armor Vendor for armor gain, and there's Anti-Healbot for more healing. You've got Zola, you've got Grumble, so you can repetitively play some of these cards again and again if you do need more armor or more healing. But let's use Armor Vendor as an example. Let's say you play the Armor Vendor more than once. Let's say you play the Shudderwock, your opponent starts gaining armor 2, right? When the Armor Vendor battle cry is repeated. Doesn't that negate the damage done by the Maddest Bomber battle cries? Yes, it does, but there is a very cute and clever inclusion in the deck. There is a Plate Breaker, the battle cry stating that you destroy your opponent's armor. So with the Plate Breaker battle cry in the Shudderwock pool, that should help you in terms of destroying the Armor Vendor armor gain for your opponent, allowing the Maddest Bomber damage to hopefully get through. So let's have a look at the deck in action then. Alright. So, it's a rogue. I don't see many rogues these days, so this is going to be quite interesting. What am I looking for in an opening hand? Armor Vendor is a massive help. It's a good pickup. The deck also has a good 2-drop, Cult Neophyte. So that's a good early game play. Okay. What kind of a rogue are you, sir? Or madam? Odd rogue. Interesting. Very interesting. So next turn I'm either playing Armor Vendor or I'm Hero Powering. Armor Vendor means we float 1 mana, Hero Power means we utilise all of our mana. Although maybe we can find a play to utilise Lightning Bloom. I don't think we can, so we just go to Hero Power. But Lightning Bloom and Maddest Bomber on turn 6 could be pretty interesting to say the least. Forget the 12 damage Battlecry for a minute and look at the stats on that card. If we played it on turn 6, we're getting a 9 attack, 8 health body on the board. I think that's pretty decent. Because it also has to be dealt with, right? Haha! Alright. That Taunt Totem couldn't save us from taking damage on that turn, that's fine. Alright. A little bit of armour. It's worth noting, I didn't talk about this at the start of the video in any great depth. We have the quested play, so you do have to get your battle cries played to complete the quest. That's something you do need to look out for. Because really, when you are playing your key battle cry cards in this deck, like the Maddest Bomber, ideally, I guess, you want to be doubling up the battle cry.
Break it, you buy it.
The Hench Clan Thug is annoying. That could just grow and kill us. So, turn 4, Maddest Bomber. Let's see what happens. Oh, it clears the board. That is awesome. It cleared the actual board. Wow. And that's the best outcome, right? We're using it as a board control tool in the early to mid game. If we're looking for lethals, we can try and find that with the Shudderwock in the late game, if the game gets to that point. Unfortunately, our opponent did not have a response to this 9/8 body on the board. Okay, Lotheb, good pickup too. There are some spells in our opponent's deck, and at the very least, Lotheb is a 5/5 body. What I'm looking at though is Life Drinker in our hand, and the ability to play Zola on it to get a little bit more healing back. If we need it, but they have their own Lotheb. And that is fine. I want to utilise my mana here. All of my mana. Lotheb would have floated 1 mana. So this is fine. If the Life Drinker survives, it is a candidate to be bounced back. Alternatively, bouncing back the Maddest Bomber could also be interesting. After all, the Maddest Bomber has proven to be an effective board clear for me thus far in this game.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
Oh dear, that weapon. Okay, they killed the Maddest Bomber. I guess they could read my mind, thinking about pouncing it back. So I can't see any lethals here. Oh, we have crashed. So Hearthstone has been doing this a lot recently on my PC, especially on my iPad. And it is really, really frustrating. Something in the latest patch has broken the game for me. On multiple formats. iPad, PC. And reinstallation does not help. So Blizzard really need to take a look at this game and how things are coded here. Anyway, we have put our opponent on a bit of a clock. We have quite a substantial board, and their health is pretty low. Can they clear the board here? If they can clear the board, I guess that puts them in a relatively safe position. Ooh, return to the hand. Okay. Interesting. Oh, hello. Well then. That is really quite something. And what I'm going to do... I was initially going to play the far side, but then I realised that I had the tour guide in hand. Okay. Last minute change of plan, play the tour guide, get the 0 cost hero power in play. And next turn, we will double up the Shudderwock battle cries. Alright, here we go. Are you ready for this? Could I just end up killing myself in the process, though? I guess it's unlikely with the armor gain to help us. We do get the Life Drinker Battle Cry too. That's actually really helpful. Double Life Drinker Battle Cry. Excellent. And again, the third. I had forgotten about the Life Drinker, and my brain was solely focused on the Maddest Bomber Battle Cry. Okay. Here we go against a mage. This will be an interesting matchup. Okay, not the early game that I was hoping for. Oh, well this is interesting. Cthulhu. This is going to be a slow control deck then. And I assume not an Ignite combo deck. Well, that's good news, because I really can't stand Ignite Mage. Open the way gate. Ooh, Time Warp. Well, that's interesting. What does that mean? If they're playing Time Warp, then they're going to be comboing me down in some capacity, right? There'll be Sorcerer's Apprentices? But if you're doing that, why play Cthulhu? Oh, I guess Cthulhu was still... Okay, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. They get another turn to play Cthulhu and kill me. Okay. How long can this go on, we ask? Very important question that, in a Hearthstone game. How long can this go on? Well, we shall see. Whatever combo they are then working towards, whether it's Cthulhu or something else, can they kill us before we kill them? With our Shudderwock Maddest Bomber battle cries. It can take some time to set things up with this deck, unfortunately, like any Shudderwock deck. And therefore, you could just get absolutely outpaced by your opponent. Particularly if they have a combo and they just pull it off faster than you. You know, Ignite Mage can just draw their deck very, very quickly, pull off their combo ever so quickly, and there's nothing you could do about it. It does feel like our deck is a bit more of an honest Hearthstone deck. But here we go! It feels like my face took most of that damage. Can you imagine if Maddest Bomber would only damage your opponent's face or your opponent's minions? That'd be pretty cool. And you could argue with it costing 8, that would, because it's so expensive, that would be a justifiable effect? Or condition? To make it worth playing, maybe? Alright. Oh, there's another one. So we can actually play that next turn. That's pretty cool. So, a 5/5 body on the board, plate breaker. We're storing up that battle cry though. Could be useful in the future. With the Shudderwock. After the armor vendor, battle cries get replicated too. Our opponent is deep in thought, though.
You can count on
Oh,
me.
they're awake.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Well, do we just trade or go face here and then play Maddest Bomber? Or do we just chill? I think we just chill. Right.
Nice to meet you.
I could have hero powered, right? With a totem? I always forget to do that. I don't plan my turns out well enough. I could have got a totem on the board. Instead I've wasted 2 mana here. That's annoying. Our opponent is taking things slow. That's Jepetto. Beautiful. Beautiful pickup here. I think it's fine to play Jepetto rather than the Bomber. I value the card draw. That's good. Well, that's tradable, I guess. Do I want to trade? I will trade. That's lovely. Okay, so next turn we have options.
An incredible discovery.
Do have some very, very interesting options for sure.
Playtime's over.
So we're definitely going to double up our battle cries. Absolutely. Now, Lightning Bloom into Grumble could be a thing. Testing for Counterspell. It's not Counterspell. I was expecting it to be Counterspell. Interesting. But what does this do for us? This is now giving us the ability to draw 4 cards.
What once was cloud.
With the hero power and Jepetto number 2. But speaking of card draw, our opponent is well into card draw too. This is a really interesting deck. Secrets and a Cthulhu. Ha. Huh. I guess you'd hope to get Cthulhu shuffled into the deck first. And then draw all of those cards like they just did and draw Cthulhu into your hand. But here we go with our own card draw. See, we can draw cards too, but we can discount their cost. That's even better, right? Oh wow, 2 tour guides. Huh. Okay. Still got 5 mana to play with. It's a lot of mana.
Nature waits for no
So why not draw more cards? Okay. Farsights. Double Farsights, double tour guides. Wow.
Muzzle their magic.
We want to kill the 5/5. So this makes sense. Yeah, this is fine. Kill off the small stuff. Trade off small stuff in, I mean. And shuffle? Why not? I think Neophyte's useful to have in our deck against this opponent, but is it really that good? It's not like shuffling a Lotheb, right? Lotheb would be useful to draw
An incredible discovery.
repeatedly against this kind of opponent. I think I kind of rushed at the end of that turn, and I think in hindsight, shuffling Neophytes through the banker was maybe a waste. Ooh, that's a bird. We like birds. God, the animations in Hearthstone, they just need to speed up a little. Oh, 2 cost. 2 cost Lothar. Beautiful. I see you. Right then. Well, we can replicate that battle cry next turn. Who needs cult neophytes when you've got Lothar battle cry? Alternatively, we have Maddest Bomber. What do we do here? Choices, choices. Why not? Their health total is lower than mine, so why not? And the bird? No, I'm not brave enough. I'm not brave enough because that's an ice block. Right, has to be an ice block. Yeah, not brave enough. So, what are they going to do here? Oh, wow. Talk about a convenient spell to have. Oh, God, our face. Oh, dear, and they have Cthulhu. That's not good. That's really, really not good. Let's gain some armor. I'm now really scared of Cthulhu. I'm scared of dying to Cthulhu. So is this a race? Cthulhu versus the Shudderwock draw?
Muzzle their magic.
Okay, so we're going to make spell casting a little bit more difficult here. And, let's just hope for the best then. If Cthulhu got played here, I think we'd be fine, right? The board would absorb a chunk of that damage. And they actually have it. Alright, we survive! But there's a 6/6 on the board. Alright. And there's an ice block in play. It's important to remember that. What is our opponent doing? Oh my god! Really? Really? Talk about overkill. Oh, goodness gracious, what a draw. What an absolutely epic draw. Here we go! So do we die here? To our own bombs? Okay, we are going to start fatiguing. Oh, forgotten about the life drinker. Plate Breaker did a little bit of work there. Out of cards. Oh, Baleful Banker. Beautiful. More life drinker. We like to see it. Is that it? That's it. Okay. Wait a minute. What? I can't target the Shudderwock? With the Zola? What is going on? I'm very confused. What is happening? Of course. Of course! Oh, we're back. Wait, what happened? How did I get 5 Shudderwocks in hand? Okay. The client could not cope with the animations then. That is what happened. Okay, fair enough. Blizzard, fix your client. Fix your game, please. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Christians, Shudderwock Shaman with the maddest of all bombers. What a fun deck. What a really entertaining deck. I've won only a small number of games with this deck. I have won 2 games and I've lost 4. The deck struggles against tier 1 meta decks. Pirate Warrior will basically destroy you unless you get really, really lucky. But if you face other off-meta decks with this deck, I think you have a chance of winning, right? As you saw in this video. And the deck design I really enjoy, I really like. Part of me wonders though, could we get some kind of Reno deck out of this? So just running 1 copy of each card, so that'd be 1 Maddest Bomber. But there are other bomber cards, right? So you could run those in the deck and accumulate all of their battle cries for the Shudderwock at the end. It's just that I do miss having Reno Jackson available to me, and against hyper-aggressive decks, a Reno on turn 6 to heal to 30 when you're at like 2 health can just be what you need to make the comeback into the game. Life Drinker with its 3 healing, Armor Vendor with its 3 armor gain may just not be enough. Even Antique Healbot with its 8 health gain, or healing I should say, could just be not enough to get the job done in terms of survival, unless you're able to double it up with your hero power, in which case it may be enough. But part of me just misses Reno Jackson. Okay, and thus I wonder if a Reno version of this deck is doable. But thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. And the new Alterac Valley Hearthstone expansion is on the horizon. Early December is when it's coming. So that is something for all of us to look forward to. And let us see what kind of support Shudderwock Battlecries can get in that new expansion. So until next time, please stay safe. Please look after yourselves, and as always, I do say this in every single video, please be good to one another.